I have not seen one individual who I can think of in my lifetime who literally took somebody from the bottom of the heap to the top, who then became president. And you did that. And you did it in the middle of a pandemic. You did it when the country was deeply, deeply divided. And you took, and I don't know how else to use the word, a loser, and turned him into a winner. How does that make you feel? Because there are very few people like you who made such a fundamental difference.
What I did was reflect what two African-American women really put into me. My late wife loved Joe Biden, and she passed away a few months before the South Carolina primary. And she told me in no uncertain terms there were two things that she wanted me to commit myself to, and one of those two things was helping Joe Biden get the nomination. And then, several days before, I went to a funeral. There was an African-American woman there, sitting on the front bench, called me over to her and told me that she wanted to know who I was voting for. And I told her I was going to vote for Joe Biden. She looked at me with a look that I cannot describe. And she said, I needed to hear that, and this community needs to hear from you. So that's why I did what I did, the way I did it. Really, I wasn't even thinking in that direction. I was going to vote for Joe and would endorse him. But I did what I did, the way I did it, because of those two Black women. So Joe Biden owes a lot to Black women, especially those two.
There is a transition that has to take place and conversations that have to be had. And if President Trump's administration is not open to having those conversations because President Trump is not willing to accept defeat, at some point, won't Joe Biden hit a wall?
Maybe he will hit a wall. I don't think he will. I think cooler heads will prevail. The fact of the matter is this country is bigger than any one person. And I'm getting a little tired of everybody saying Trump this and Trump that. He is one person. We have a constitution, we have tradition, and we have an election, and we have a result. And I think that everybody should move forward, put him in his place. That's the problem here. Too many people keep deferring to him to see what dream he had last night. This country is bigger than Donald Trump. It was bigger than Richard Nixon, and it's bigger than Donald Trump.
Georgia is everything right now on January 5th. And if one of the Republicans, gets back into the Senate, you don't have the Senate. If you can get both with Kamala Harris as the tiebreaker, you do. What I'm interested in is this. You got a lot of factions within your party. And, one of the difficulties of navigating this is if Joe Biden, if the progressive wing really kind of pushes him, it's going to create a divide in your own party. Whereas if a Republican wins one of those seats and the Republicans control the Senate, the compromise is more understandable to everybody. So in a weird way, even if you lose the Senate, does it kind of help Joe Biden govern more effectively?
I tell people all the time now, there's always this battle between what is the efficient way of doing it and what is the effective way of doing it. Now, I think that what you're describing right now is more about efficiency than effectiveness. To be effective, you have to give up efficiency sometimes. And so I am looking for a way for us to win Georgia and determine then whether or not we can govern effectively. I would much rather make that determination having won these two seats than having lost them. So let's do what's necessary to win these seats. Now that means that this is Georgia, just south of South Carolina. This is not any northeastern liberal state. And if we are going to win these two seats in Georgia, we are going to have to appeal to the voters of Georgia, not any other state. And so we ought to just understand that if we are going to govern, we got to win. And if you got to win, you got to connect to the voters.